Hey guys, my name is Bottles, and welcome back to the Sonic Retrospective, and today I will be talking about Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight, also known as the Storybook series. Alright, so Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight take place between two different kind of like, I wouldn't say mythical, but there are a lot of stories about these times. Like the first one's definitely a story, and the second one it's more of just like myths of a time period, I guess? I don't know. But, like, the first Sonic and the Secret Rings takes place in the Arabian Nights. Which, honestly, that's really fucking cool. Like, the whole idea of the Storybook series of placing Sonic in, like, this fantasy world, and then having the characters kind of, like, coincide with different characters of those worlds, I love that. Like, I love that idea. Like, that's actually really fucking creative of Sega to do that. And like this, even the stories of these games are actually pretty fucking good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say it out loud right now. I've never beaten Sonic and the Black Knight, but I have beaten Sonic and the Secret Rings. Mostly because when I talk about them separately, it'll be very apparent that Sonic and the Secret Rings is the better game for me. But moving on. So Sonic and the Secret Rings is kind of weird in the way that you control Sonic. Instead of, you know, you're running through stages, homing, attacking, blah blah blah, like controlling Sonic the entire time, it's more of like an endless runner game where you kind of steer Sonic like a car. And you can still like homing attack and everything and jump and all that, but the one thing is that Sonic never stops moving. At first, I hated this. Like, I hated it with a passion. And I thought it was really, really stupid. But as you like start to get used to it, I started growing fond of the new gameplay style. Especially since I can kind of see why Sega went with this. Because, you know, Sonic's like high speed and you have to control him. And to do that with the Wii and also like promote motion controls, it's a little odd how to do that, because you have to remember, Sonic and the Secret Rings was basically a launch title for the Nintendo Wii. Like, it didn't come out when the Wii came out. Like, there was still a lot of development. Hell, I remember when it used to be called Sonic Wildfire. But Sonic and the Secret Rings was announced literally at the same time the Wii was announced. And at that time, Nintendo was really pushing, like, hey, we need to make games with motion control. So, find a way to do that. So Sega, you know, did their best to, like, try and help with that. And, you know, as much as it could have just been easily, like, the nunchuck and the Wii remote to control Sonic, like you did in Sonic and the Black Knight, there was no motion control there, you know? Like, there was no opportunity, because it was literally Sonic running through a stage, and, you know, homing attack, blah blah blah, and there'd be like no movement. So I can kind of see where Sega was coming from when it came to how they decided to make Sonic control in this game. Like, by the time Sonic and the Black Knight came out, they kind of like gave up with motion controls a little bit. Like, they didn't make it part of, like, a lot of games didn't make it part of core gameplay, but they still kind of implemented it to add a little something extra to the game. Like in Sonic and the Black Knight, where you do control with a nunchuck and a Wii remote, but you also use the Wii remote to swing the sword. So, in that regard, it's a little better. So, talking about Sonic and the Secret Rings, I definitely recognize more fictional characters in this than I did with Black Knight. Like, in this one, it's like, I know Sinbad, I know the genie from Aladdin, you know, and all the other characters, like the king, like the sultan that Eggman was, I remembered, and like all those characters were just really cool that they just kind of like made the other characters into, and it kind of worked because of what characters they gave to who. And Sonic and the Black Knight, I wasn't really like familiar with those characters. Like, the only character I was really familiar with, from what I remember, is Sir Lancelot, which I'm pretty sure was Shadow. I liked how they tried in Black Knight to make the characters different characters. Like in Secret Rings, it was like Tails, Knuckles, and Eggman that were the characters. But then to switch it up for Black Knight, they made it Knuckles, Shadow, and Blaze, which I thought was pretty cool, actually, that they included Shadow and Blaze in this lineup. Like, they could have just as easily made it like Tails and Amy, you know, like. But I like how they tried to put a bit of variety. Secret Rings also had like an RPG element to it, because you could, with each stage, you got like a certain like money sort of thing, and then with that money you could buy abilities which would help you complete missions and stuff. But my main complaint with how Sonic and the Secret Rings kind of works is that it works on kind of like a mission-based system, where it's like, alright, here's your stage, here's a bunch of missions that you can do in this stage. But to get the true ending of the game, you need to get all of the secret rings, which wouldn't be hard if they indicated what stages were mandatory to get secret rings. It's never really specified. Like, you do like 2 stages of this place, and then the next place opens up, so your gamer's instinct is to go to the next place, because you're like, alright, I guess the rest of these are like other missions that I don't have to do. So I'll go here, and maybe I'll get something here. And, you know, I'll get the secret rings along the way, until you realize that there are missions in the back plate, like the first places, that you still have to do, but they unlock the next place anyway for some reason. You know, it's very confusing. Like, and it never tells you what stages have secret rings. Like, there's no indication, at least that I can remember. Sonic and the Black Knight. For one thing, I didn't beat this game. I'll say that right now. I've never beaten Sonic and the Black Knight. I really don't plan to, because I think that Sonic and the Black Knight is a pretty piece of shit game. Mostly because the controls are horrible. Like, it doesn't sound hard to, like, move with the nunchuck and then move, like, swing your sword, but it is. Like, it's stupidly hard. Like, the control just feels so awkward in your hand. Like, I don't even know how I could, like, describe it, you know? Like, it's so awkward in the way that it controls, and I can barely get through a stage because of how awkwardly this game controls. That's why I like Sonic and the Secret Rings' car mechanics, I guess, better than Sonic and the Black Knight controlling like a regular Sonic game. Also, Sonic and the Secret Rings, Dark Spine Sonic looks pretty fucking cool. And that battle with Alpha Layla Walela, I think his name is, that was really fucking cool too. Like, I gotta admit, the final boss of Secret Rings is really fucking cool. So I think that's all I really gotta say about Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic the Black Knight. I can't really think of much else to talk about. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow for Sonic Unleashed. See you there.